milled aluminum. It's a little
Hey,
heavy.
everybody. We've got Dave and Arti here. So it's going to be a very interesting show. I'm not sure if my little chat thing works. I'm going to say hello in the chat to make sure it works. Yay, it does work. That's good news. First up, obviously, housekeeping people in the chat. Welcome. It's good to see you, Zero and Mark. If you have any audio issues, do let me know, and I'll get on to adjusting that. What we're doing today is going through the Atheist Republic's Allah is Gay video. We're going to watch it and basically just discuss it on just our opinions of it and what we think. Hopefully at some point I'm going to be able to show Armin this and have a discussion with him on it as well. We were hoping to do that all in one, but we just, with the time zones and his schedule, we couldn't quite get that working. And Secular, g'day. And you guys want to say hello, Dave?
Yay. Hello. Hello.
Like a real
Was
pro.
that a bit racist? I don't know. Hello.
No, I'm pretty sure that's just a character out of a movie. You know.
Okay.
I don't know the race. I don't know the race of that character.
Excellent.
I don't think accents are racial. I think they're linguistic.
I'll roll with that. Yeah, let's do that. That works.
I think we should.
Saving our butts, which is a rare thing. So I don't know if you guys want to. Do you want to go straight into the video and give it a watch and then hit it up? Go hard.
Let's give it a roll. See what she looks like.
This. Alrighty, I shall flip the screen to that, and then I'll just do a quick little adjustment so that we are center stage a bit more. Lock it down. Alrighty. Let me know if the audio comes through nicely as well.
Why is that okay?
It's a fictional character, you can make it whatever you want.
Alright, I dig it. Allah is gay. You have a point. Allah is gay. That's amazing. I love it.
I love you, bro. Thank you. Look at you. A lot of people ask, why are we doing this? The most simple response is that we're just trying to break a taboo. There's nothing wrong with being gay, so why should this be offensive?
Yes. Yes.
Allah's gay, baby.
I love you for doing this. Inshallah.
I actually kind of expected most people to be very supportive in Vancouver, and that was the case. I can't even count the number of people that were supportive, which is very nice. I think we just had like 2 negative reactions.
What's this?
It's a sign.
What's the fucking sign? You're crazy or what?
What's wrong?
We don't know halal or not halal anyway, forget about it.
You're not allowed to do this.
Yeah, what? It's a free country. It's just...
Yeah, it's free, but it offends lots of people.
Why is it right?
Why is it wrong?
I think he is the bravest person here.
It's a bold statement.
This seems like a very simple thing to do here, and it is. There's not that much consequences for us saying something like this, Allah is gay here. But this is punishable by death in many countries. We just want to show to them, if they're watching, that there are places where you could get away with saying stuff like this, and nothing can happen to you. And give them hope. Give them hope that if we can get away without a death penalty or imprisonment in a country like this, and not only be free to say it, we can show you how much positive support we got from people. There is hope for your country. Love has to win, and not just here, but everywhere.
Hi, I just wanted to say I love what you just wrote down.
Oh.
It's so wonderful to see that, and I'm also from a Muslim family.
Oh, thank you so much for your support.
That's amazing.
we'll
All right.
go back to us.
Okay. I suppose the reason why we're discussing this is because NotJah posted this on Twitter and said, this is fantastic. And I replied with, nah, I don't think it's all that fantastic. The reason being, well, my thoughts behind it are intent and what were they trying to do? Now, the first thing he said, people asked, why are you doing this? And he said, well, it's not offensive to be gay, which it certainly isn't. And therefore, it shouldn't be offensive to say Allah is gay. Fine. You know, I'm an atheist. I don't even think Allah is real. So that's not the point. I come from the thinking that, okay, it's not offensive to be overweight. And also, you know, it's not offensive, you know, that's called fat shaming. It's not offensive to sleep around. That's called slut shaming. But if I rocked up to your house with a sign that said, your mum's a fat slut, you might be offended.
Okay, so and what if it was in the wording, it was changed to have a more positive connotation or understanding that obviously when we hear, you know, oh, that's gay, it's meant to mean something negative.
Yeah.
And that's what you're obviously saying. So what if it was written in a way
Well,
that was
no,
Allah
no,
is
no,
bad
I'm
or
not
something?
saying, no, that's not what I'm saying at all.
I don't
NotJah.
think that's.
I'm not saying that
I'm just trying
it's
to
supposed to be a
follow, so-
negative at all. In the same way as being overweight is not a negative, or sleeping
but
around is not a
obviously
negative.
when it's said,
Those things aren't
when
negative.
it's said like that, it's intended to be negative. So if you, like you
Correct.
said, when you go and say
Well,
someone's
no,
a fat
no,
slut,
no, no.
you're trying
It's
to
not.
be mean.
It's not intended to be negative. You're just taking it as negative in the same way that a Muslim person would take that sign to be negative. I'm not saying anything they did was negative.
I
Well,
think,
I'm just trying
we can
to-
admit. I would like to introduce the word provocative. That it was intended to be provocative. He went there with that sign, intending to draw attention to his sign.
Yes.
I think it's fair to admit that we can all agree that that's the case. I'm not sure that it's necessarily. I'm not okay saying anything is inappropriate in any given circumstance, but
I did.
So
Okay, let me give you a thought experiment.
I'm just saying I'm not necessarily comfortable. I didn't say I wouldn't admit that it's true.
Yeah, I have big problems with the concept of offences always taken and it's never given. I have big problems with that concept because let's go to British comedian Jimmy Carr has a great joke. There's safety in numbers. Tell that to the Jews. Right. Let's put that Jimmy Carr, that's a joke about mathematics. Okay?
Right.
Let's put Jimmy Carr into a time machine, put him in an audience of people that have just come out of a concentration camp. He cannot see the audience. And he tells that joke. He did not give offence. Offence was taken by them. Okay, let's put him in that same time machine, and unbeknownst to us, Jimmy Carr can see the audience, and he happens to be a fucking Nazi. And he still tells that joke. He has given offence.
I'm not going to disagree, but like I said, I'm still uncomfortable. Like I said, I'm still uncomfortable.
I just sat on my ears.
As an American, you should be allowed to tell that joke, even in that circumstance. And only in the circumstance where he knows he's speaking to that audience do I find it objectionable.
Yeah, I agree.
But
now,
but that doesn't
sign looking for Muslim people.
Well, I wouldn't say that's what he's not looking for Muslim people in that crowd. He's not walking through a mosque and stuff or anything like that.
Yeah, I think his point. I think more to his point was that he is a Muslim carrying that sign, not that he's trying to.
No, he's an atheist carrying that sign. It's from the Atheist Republic.
Well, it was posted by Atheist Republic. Is he? Oh,
yeah,
he's an.
No, that is Army. Yeah.
Well, even as such, that it kind of doesn't change my opinion of the fact that it's not dramatically different from doing the exact same thing as a former Christian and saying Jesus was gay. Is that equally offensive?
It's neither. I personally don't think Allah.
Well,
is
no,
gay.
but okay, wrong word.
Offended by it.
Wrong word. Would you hold the same opinion if it was that guy carrying a sign that said?
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
It's nothing to do with the wording or the offence.
See,
I don't understand what was he trying to do. Okay, if his second motivation at the end where he says we can get away with this here.
Yeah, that's what I wrote down. A place where you can get away with it.
Okay, that's fair enough. Okay, fine. That's it. It's
actually that was the offensive part to me, was that there was a little just certain level of braggadocious right there, where he was saying there is a place where you can do this and get away with it, which is a very distinct, I don't know, maybe it's not a distinct American phrase, but it's a significant thing where if you thought for a second that this might not be the place for it, you wouldn't do it, but you'll do it because you can get away with it. It's basically the free speech equivalent of this is a place where I can say whatever I want and get away with it. There's not going to be any repercussions for me given my audience. And you didn't watch people coming from the other side of the street to come give that guy hugs for carrying that sign. And it was edited like a Ray Comfort video.
This is true. There was a bit of positive propaganda going through that.
Yeah. And only 2 people. Did we see the second person?
Yeah, there was the one guy that confronted, and then there was another
the guy with the
amongst
sunglasses and his buddy,
and another guy just tried to put his hand over the
camera
or whatever camera. But
I thought that was the same incident. I'm not sure it wasn't.
It was clipped together, sort of over the top of one the next, and then back, and
yeah, it was a Ray Comfort edit.
Yeah. But, that's what he wanted to put out. The music worried me more than anything.
Yeah, the music was a little too fun.
Yeah.
Your music is great, mate.
And like no gay pride parade music I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
That was not club. It was not club music.
I don't think it was smart. There was nothing gained by it.
Okay. See, that I feel is definitely a legitimate thing in anything like this, whether, you need to show that there is some real purpose behind it and something you could, not you personally can get, but that can be gained from it, if you're going so far out doing something like this.
Given the way it was edited and the few other things we've already discussed, it's fairly obvious that, if nothing else, this was about drawing attention to himself, regardless of his motives. his other motives. What if he was trying to make a political point or a religious point or whatever? It really just boiled down to, look at me, because the I can get away with it thing, I can't get past it, man. That's a really telling fucking thing to say. That's like Trump leaving the umbrella outside of Air Force One. It's just a tell. It's not a specific thing that I can hold against you. It's just a tell about your personality.
Yeah. It's not. There's no. I don't have any huge argument over it, other than what I've already said. So this could be a really short stream. Let's talk about something.
No, yeah. To be honest, this isn't meant to be a big long stream. It's more succinct and to the point is better, because, as I said, it could turn into a bit of an ongoing, bit of a discussion. I'm going to take this and show Armin.
I'd like to talk to the guy. I'd like to find a bit more
to get
about
that set up.
But obviously, time frames, and he lives in a place where he can get away with shit. Which is,
well, we can get away with a lot of shit too.
Yeah. The thing is, it's reasonably late here, and I can't think of a place where he could be given the foliage that is either just south in the same time zone or west of me where it's earlier. But whatever.
Yeah,
I got a feeling. I got a feeling he was. I got a feeling he's in the Pacific Coast.
I know you probably told me at some
state.
point, but I can't be bothered going through all the Twitter messages to try and figure it out. And all right, well, because as I said, I don't have an objection to anything really in this point. Like I found joy in that video, and then I still like to find out other people's perspective, and so learning what hearing what you've got to say, and then. Well, okay. I look at it from, and I know this is going to sound sort of silly given the comparisons I'm going to make, but because I came from the Jehovah's Witnesses, growing up with, even in our society, really extreme restrictions on my life, on personal freedoms, and in every way that, and watching people on the outside get to enjoy those freedoms, it does drive you really intensely to want to express that, even for the sake of expressing it, just having that freedom as well, like everyone else, because you feel like you should be able to do that, because everyone else can, and they're right there, and just because I'm here, I can't, and it's not fair. And so for me, I see that coming out where, if this was something I would do, I would walk, but I would be worse. I would walk through a Jehovah's Witness meeting with a sign saying, Jehovah is gay or something. And that would be to piss them off. Right. That would be to provoke them, extremely. But that's because it is coming from what they've done to me. What they've taken away from me. And that's what I see in this.
And that's where his motivation comes from. It's like your angry first atheist.
Yeah, like young, angry atheist.
And I mean, and to me, I know that it's silly to say that brings me joy, but it does, because that's a release of emotion that you need to do. Like, that is a really needed thing to become at least healthy and feel good about your life when you're coming out of these things.
I think, just for a second, I think it's worth noting that I think anybody who has left religion, any atheist who has left their religion and is a fully out atheist, there's something to be said for the fact that you're angry and you're going to say stupid, angry shit and do stupid, angry things because you feel like you've been lied to your whole life and worse. And when you get to a point where you've got the courage to not just have torn back the veil, but to open up a window and jump through it and just out yourself, you're an angry person, and usually it happens to young people in their late teens or early 20s.
Yeah, but it's very similar to stages of grief.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And it for me, it took a good long time to fully get past the fear of hell. Like, yeah, I don't believe the God thing, but the hell? What about the hell? And the older I got, and the more times I read the Bible, that shit fucking fell away, because the hell is no more believable than the Noah story, and it just took me longer to realize that. So when we say young, angry atheists, we aren't, we're not necessarily pigeonholing you, but you are. You'll grow out of it.
You just learn to settle down.
Yeah.
A lot of things. It's just
your balls.
It takes a lot of fucking effort to be angry.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's fucking tiring as hell. And hate? Who the fuck has the energy to hate something?
That's one thing I never had time for.
Trump.
Don't
Trump.
hate. Just have no joy for him at all.
Oh, okay.
I can even find joy in Trump. He's entertaining to watch. He's not my president.
Oh, yeah, no.
Hilarious from a distance, isn't he, NotJah?
He's good.
Not our president.
I wonder what he's
Tomorrow
done
he's hysterical.
Yeah, our prime minister's a fucking happy clapper. Oh, shit.
Friday night he sucks, but midday on Saturday that motherfucker's funny.
Do you know what a happy clapper is?
Who are you asking?
That's what we call Pentecostals in Australia. Happy clappers.
Shit, I hadn't heard that one.
Yeah, I hadn't either.
Well, no surprise. You're
Not
fucking
sure.
Australian,
Oh, yeah, you wouldn't have heard anything sort of about other churches.
No,
You're a bit ensconced.
Yeah, I didn't get a whole lot. I tried after I sort of left the organisation, but yeah, I didn't get far.
We don't really have Pentecostals around here. We have Amish, which is probably the reason the Pentecostals were scared away. But as you go south of here and you get into Kentucky and Tennessee, you get the snake handling. And I can't remember in which of those two states it's legal to be a snake handler. I think it's Kentucky. But you got to go deep woods to find a good, proper Pentecostal church. And I have pictures of a few. They don't have marquees out front that say shit. You got a gravel driveway, the paint peeling off, and some dumb motherfucker inside with a bunch of snake tooth holes in his t-shirts.
All right. All good. Anything else?
Yeah, I was just trying to think if there was anything I wanted to wrap up. Did anyone in the chat have anything to say about their opinions or what they thought of either what we thought of the video or what they thought of the video? I'm sure if you've missed it, it's pretty easy to catch. It was the one that Atheist Republic uploaded. I did a mirror. A few other people did a mirror. The Allah is gay video. I don't know. I thought, if anyone else has opinions, they may as well throw them out there. If not, we'll shut down the stream.
Come and scream at me in Twitter.
I think you're both bastards.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say that.
Yeah.
It's as the token Murican. Fuck you, Strayans.
We're all talking about my avatar blinking.
Yeah.
Okay. Because that's more interesting than anything. Yeah. Fuck your avatar.
Yeah. The great thing about your avatar is that it's an Australian going over a waterfall that separates the United States from Canada.
Canada, oh, no. Brilliant. And the creator of that just said the video was really just rabble rousing, which that's one way of putting it.
Yeah.
Nice and succinct.
Well, yeah. Okay. In that case, I agree with him. He was just rabble rousing. So why? He was out to shock. He was out to.
He wanted the video to have more than two guys confront him.
Yeah.
But more than anything, he wanted the video to be about him.
And there's no doubt doing that, you do want the confrontation.
So he didn't believe the message. He wasn't interested in the message.
I don't think that's true. But I think he was far more interested in the attention. Yeah. How many clips from Banana Man video did he have where people were saying, "I love you. You're the best person here."
Okay.
Banana video.
Mark Caesar's got. I think Armin was trying to illustrate the divide between the parties. Is that the American parties? I'm not sure.
I don't think.
Because I'm pretty sure he's Canadian.
I would assume that's the intent of that, but I don't think that's the case at all. Yeah. I know more than a few log cabin Republicans, which are typically gay male Republicans. That was definitely not the point of his message.
Okay.
For all we know, he is a Republican. We didn't see anything in that would let us know that he wasn't a conservative, other than the fact that he's gay, and that's not the delineation point. Would be my message. Gay ain't got shit to do with it. It should in this country because
well, is there
because Trump is all pro LGBT.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
When he held a flag that says it.
Yeah, that rainbow flag that he held up against him and then spit on.
Yeah, it was in Canada 0.
Yeah, God bless America. I happen to, for those of you who might actually be Australian, first, I apologize. Second of all, I live where Mike Pence is from, like literally the state, and used to live in the town where he lived.
Is it less white now that he's moved out?
Is it less white? It's dramatically, it's dramatically less white because that motherfucker is so bright white.
He's just like,
yeah. Here, let me turn on my Mike Pence lights.
Yeah.
This is Mike Pence white.
Yeah.
Seriously, the man can't go have a meal with a woman unless his fucking wife is there.
Yeah, that guy's a bit
like
weird.
that.
A bit. It's not just that he's a bit.
100 women in the fucking chamber.
Everything
yeah,
that Trump, everything that Trump has done that caters to the religious right in this country has been the direct result of having Pence in his fucking ear, and having some Republican strategist saying the only thing at this point, remarkably enough, that's keeping you out of jail probably is the
evangelical vote.
Yeah, the evangelical right. Yep. That's why his poll numbers are right at that 38, 48, 40%, because there's that many of those motherfuckers in this country.
Here's a good point. It's not really a great point, but it's a point. If you think about it, what the fuck does it even mean for a single being of its type to be straight or gay? If I were the only human being alive, what would the term functionally mean? So what does it mean for Allah to be gay if there's nothing for it to be gay with?
Well, yeah, it doesn't mean anything. Like I say, the phrase itself is meaningless. For a start, there's no such thing as a fucking Allah.
Yeah, it would have been a.
I like this.
I assume there's a good reason that he didn't walk around with a sign that said Allah is a pedophile, because I feel like as an atheist in a country where you can get away with it, that would have been a way more appropriate fucking sign. Yeah, at least it would have been accurate.
Yeah, actually, that exactly. And I was just maybe you didn't think about it, because I didn't think about that. That's a good point, though, because when I said before going into a JW meeting and holding a sign about Jehovah being gay, saying he'd be a pedophile would be a lot better, because that's accurate.
Right.
Especially here in Australia.
Yeah.
There's a real issue there.
Yeah.
Okay, if that was the case, if I was to do that, what I just described, Jehovah is a pedophile, with the obvious notion that it's because of the child molestation issues within the Watchtower organisation, and did it at their meeting, so with the complete intent on offending them and disturbing the peace, so to speak, of their little meeting, what would your opinion of that be?
Why would you do it? You're an angry atheist. No, that's that would be my opinion. Why did you do? What difference will it make in that meeting? Because they already know that shit. They're hiding it, but they know it.
No, see,
so
this is the thing. The majority of the congregation don't know it.
Yeah, no, that's.
Sorry, I was taking it back to Catholics. Catholics know what fucking
they know. Yeah, but not these ones. It is all covered from the congregation as well. And that's why it would be with the intent to. It'll be offensive. It'll hurt, but it's to show them what they're being hidden. They're not getting shown this. They are explicitly having this hidden from them.
I think that's a significant distinction between the two things: that the Muhammad or Allah is gay, and that I think that is you're exposing them to what should be an obvious truth.
One at a time. Sorry.
And
sorry, Dave.
Jehovah with the whatever you call your priests in Jehovah's Witness.
I missed the first part of what you said. Sorry.
Okay. When Allah wasn't a pedophile, Muhammad was. You've confused Muhammad with Allah. The sign should have said Muhammad was a pedophile.
Okay. Well, I mean, it would be Allah as the representation of.
Actually, I did that.
Yeah. And then you did that, and then NotJah continued it by saying.
Well, no, he changed it to
Jehovah.
Yeah,
but it's not Jehovah that's. We can both go to the fact that you're better off saying Jehovah's a myth. But
what does
if
Jehovah
you want to go to
represent? What does Jehovah represent, especially to the people in the Church of Jehovah's Witnesses? Jehovah represents those elders that are instructing that it's the word of God, which is given to them through.
Jehovah doesn't represent the elders. The elders represent Jehovah. So it should be the elders are pedophiles.
Yeah, but not all of them are. That's a unique
distinction. That's a capable distinction to be made from the outside, though. Let's be honest.
Yeah, no.
It's like. Are
you saying I'm being pedantic?
No, I'm about to be even more pedantic. When I talk to a Mormon on Twitter, and I talk about Utah and the government of Utah being in the hands of Mormons, don't seem to really give a fuck about child brides and fundamentalist Mormons, the FDLS. And invariably they will come down on me and say, no, the church obviously stands against that. And I'll be like, yeah, that's not what I fucking said. I didn't say anything about the church. I said you, because child brides are admittedly being allowed to happen in Utah in enclaves where FLDS churches exist, and the state doesn't do anything about it. The judges are FLDS, the sheriff is FLDS, the hospital is FLDS. So where do you go when you can't get out of that shit? And that's why I continue to give Mormons shit for saying Mormons don't seem to give much of a fuck about that, because it took the federal government to go in under the Clinton administration. For those of us who are Americans might be able to remember, the Clinton administration sent in the federal police to remove these child brides. It might have been Bush, even, come to think of it. And everybody was outraged because we took these kids away from their families. But what we had actually done was remove these underage married girls from these pedophile relationships they were involved in, because the state wasn't doing anything about it.
Sure.
And now, because of Pence being the brains of the operation, this country is getting more and more of that level of horseshit, where the guy that for some reason was just appointed the acting head of the Justice Department, who didn't come from the Justice Department. He's just a guy off the fucking street. he's now the acting head. Like, that's a thing you're allowed to do. He said that all the judge appointments will go to a religious background for justice first. What?
Yeah. What is that?
So we're going to stone kids now? It's that level of twisted thinking that just I literally can't wrap my brain around. And what's under here is fairly malleable.
Yes, that's one of those issues that it actually reminded me a lot of. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Far Cry games. The latest one, Far Cry 4, is set in Montana, and it's like this region of Montana that's sort of secluded from the rest of America by, like, well, at first it's just, you know, normally accessible, but it sort of plays at that whole theme where every one of the people in the town are part of this religious cult, and then they lock it down, you know, because they're like, they control everything. So, and you're basically going in with, you know, the feds, so to speak, to try and arrest the main leader, and they just shut the place down and you're fucked. Because everyone is in on the cult, you know. The cops are in on it, like you say, teachers, all of them, you know, it's all indoctrinated.
Right. Yeah, even when they're taken away, they just want to go back because that's all they know, but...
Yeah. It's insanity.
And then the religious jumped up and said, yeah, you got to send those kids back. So that's what we did.
That's a little bit scary. We don't have those. I mean, we don't have... In Australia as such, is nowhere near that sort of religious problem. I mean...
Yeah, nowhere near that.
Yeah, even NotJah, even though NotJah basically came from, you know, what can obviously be described as a cult.
And even with Cardinal Penn.
Yeah, and even with, you know, one of the world's biggest fucking pedophile hiders.
Did you see that? I can't remember what state in the United States, but today or yesterday, there was a priest that was sentenced to 1 year imprisonment for hiding thousands of child endangerment cases during the 70s.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I saw something like that not long ago. It was, I can't remember the exact sentence, but it was the most bullshit sentence, and even that was cut short, and he was allowed to go out with a fucking safety, you know, tracker strapper on his anklet. Yeah. Just, and the amount of, like, this, and he was, it's just disgusting.
Yeah, the amount of shit that Steve has taken for his, granted, cantankerous language towards the Catholic Church, but way more than half of my family is Catholic, and I've talked about it before, that that part of my family very early on in the late 80s set up shit to deal with victims. And they set up a fund to pay for counseling and made sure that their diocese was free and clear of that shit. And
oh, Jesus. I mean, there's one thing to look after the victims. I was like, oh, that's kind of nice. And then you said, you know, make sure that the church is all covered up. I'm like, oh, well, fuck. You know?
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, not covered up, but that they were...
Yeah, they don't get caught up in legal shit, I'm gathering.
Yeah, that they weren't just feeding the machine by saying, yeah, well, we have this money set aside to help victims, but we're just going to continue to let it happen. Yeah, that's not what I meant. It was they set up the thing to deal with the victims and then realized that...
And then clean their house at the same time.
To make sure that their house was clean.
Ah, gotcha.
Gotcha. They're Kennedys. They're not the Kennedys, but they're Kennedys. The name has clout.
What the fuck does that mean?
What does... Oh, NotJah, you're so young.
I know who the Kennedys are, but what to be a Kennedy as opposed to it being just like... Is that... you're talking in a political term?
There's the Massachusetts Kennedys, and then there's the Ohio Kennedys. and they're about 800 miles from each other, and about that much logarithmically. They have a measure of clout, but not like Boston Kennedys or Massachusetts Kennedys would have. They're not that fucking rich.
But they're not that poor.
Yeah. Yeah, but they're not
And they
poor.
don't say chow there.
Right. Yeah, they lost their English accents.
Fair enough.
Cool.
All right. Well, shit.
All right,
If
I'm good.
you got nothing better to say, yeah.
I'd
you
like
may
to.
as well.
Nah, fuck you. I'd like to hear from, the filmmaker. But if he's just, if all he was doing was rabble rousing, yeah, good on you. But I don't think you achieved anything, and I think your message was lost.
All right. Well, we'll see what we can do.
Whatever your message was, I thought it was lost.
I mean, best case scenario, we'll get a viewing in, and hopefully at some point we'll get to have a chat. But otherwise, we'll, leave it at that and see what happens. Anyway.
Oh, we can do a back and forth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll try our best. But anyway, I'll shut it down. Do you guys want to shout out your shit, or you got any? I know Arti doesn't make videos anymore, so.
I am at a Branesample on Twitter. I'm not even gonna plug my channel on YouTube, but if you're curious, I have in the past made some videos, and I will in the future. But I'm not,
I think the dinosaurs are still there then.
Wait, not as long ago as Dave did. Get off my ass.
Wait, Dave makes videos?
I had a different channel.
Holy shit.
I had a different channel.
Oh, goddamn. All right.
I
Do you want to
check out.
Check out Full Metal Budgie.
Yeah.
On YouTube.
Full Metal Budgie.
Two of his videos are really good.
The rest suck.
But two of them are really good.
Oh shit! All right.
It's like my channel. I've got five videos that are meh, but two of them are pretty good. Pretty good.
Oh shit! Look at this. Hello.
Yeah. Look at that fucking avatar, man. He nailed that shit.
Fuck. All right, I'm gonna throw this in the old chat.
Throw that in the side.
If you're Poisoning the Well fan,
Budgie.
or if you're not Poisoning the Well fan, you should be. And if you are, baby, so proud today. He fucking nailed that shit.
Yeah, that would.
All right. There we go. We got.
Let's pray the guy away. All right.
Hashtag no homo.
All right.
Much love,
Bye-bye,
everyone.
chat.
Catch y'all. Thanks, chat. And
Okay.
have a great day, night, wherever the fuck you are. See ya.